Okay, so hi and welcome to another week. Another week, yes. We are in Unit 5, and as I was saying last week, this week is about food. So the whole Unit 5, will be about food. So that's where we're going to be looking at. But before we start, we have a new student. So I'd like to welcome new student Andres. And Andres? Yes, Andres. So Andres, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from? How long have you been in Australia? And what are your favorite things to do? Your hobbies and everything. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Andres. Ah, you're from Colombia? Yes. 5 weeks? 5 months? 5 days. Wow. So if only 5 days you have been in Australia. Wow. And what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? Te gusta? Right? Yeah, good. Mhm. Football? Okay, good. And watching TV. Good. So amazing. Andres, 5 days in Australia. Okay, so welcome. So welcome, and everyone can just say welcome. Now I know it's going to be a little bit hard because you're only 5 days in Australia, but try to follow. So Unit 5, page 57. 57. And hi, Letizia. I hope you're well. Yes, Letizia. Okay, so this will be easier. So Unit 5, this page. Food. So all this week, we're going to be talking about food. So let's have a look. We have street food. I'm reading the caption in Oaxaca. Where is this? Oaxaca. Maybe South America? Let's have a look. So, oh, so, Oaxaca in southern Mexico. Okay, so we are in Mexico, and it says here La Casa de la Abuela, the house of grandmother, or Nana's house, grandma's house. So you can see this woman is making bread. Is this bread? Do you know? Similar to bread? Different? Tortilla, yes, yes, tortilla. Okay, good. For taco. This is for taco, to eat taco. Ah, okay. Tortilla. Yeah, for burrito. Burrito? To, to eat the burrito? Yeah, to wrap. Okay. Tortilla. So it's a type of bread. And we can see she is working in the street. So not a restaurant, but in the street. So you'll see her in the street. That means the food is more cheap. And it's always very good. This lady is making it herself. So you can be sure it's very good traditional food. So where does the woman in the photo cook and sell the food? So she cooks it and sells it on the street. That's why it's called street market, street food market. What kind of street food can you buy in your country? So let's start with Roxana. What do you have in Peru? If I was to walk in the street in Peru, what can I eat very quickly from not the restaurant, not the cafe, but just on the street? Is there people they make food? Yes. Oh, wow. All the streets. So people must love eating. Yes. Yeah. Potatoes with egg? Oh, okay. Okay, potato with egg and cheese. Yes. Chili. Yeah, very hot. Very chilly, very hot. Okay. Cucho. How do I spell it? Yes. Like barbecue. Yes. 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 I think chicken. Ah, the heart of which animal? Oh, the cow. Oh, heart cow. Wow, that's very interesting. How do I spell that? C C A A N T U I C U. Anticucho. So this is very common in Peru. So this is cow's heart. So they'll make it like a barbecue. Anticucho. I would try this. Yeah. Anticucho. I never, but I like the idea. Yeah. Ah. I wish we have here, but okay. Colombia. What's very common in Colombia? What can we find on the street food? Yes, empanadas. Yes, we know this. Very nice. Yum. Yes. I think, how do I spell that? P. Hmm. Yes. Arepas. So cheese and like in a dough, in a bread, like a cheesy bread. And it's very popular in Venezuela, Colombia. Nice. Okay, Brazil. Besides beautiful barbecue, what else can we see in the streets? That's very traditional street food. F E D D J. No. I J O A. Yes. G D A. I think it's beans. Is that right? Yes, I love every day I can eat this. Beans and rice. Yeah. Yum. This looks like a nice one. Is it with beef? Uh-huh. Meat and beans. Yes. This is very nice. Very, very nice. Black bean stew. So this is common in Brazil. Yeah, I hear about this one. Good. Okay, so that's what we're talking about, street food. And this was in Mexico, Oaxaca, I'm not sure how to say that. And she's making tortillas, I think. Yes. So let's now listen to a travel writer talking about the food in the photo. So talking about the food in this photo. What does she say? Why does she say she has a great job? Why does she really love traveling? Where does she always go when she arrives in a new city? And why is Oaxaca one of her favorite places? And what is her favorite dish? Another word for that is food. What is her favorite food? Okay, let's listen and answer the questions.
Track 47, Unit 5 Opener. I have a great job because I travel to different countries. I meet new people and visit new places. But I really love traveling because I taste lots of different types of food. So when I arrive in a new city, I always go to the local restaurants and cafes. At the moment, I'm in Oaxaca. It's one of my favorite places for street food. All the street chefs make the food by hand, and then they cook it on a real fire. So when you walk up the street, you can smell the food from the different cafes. Local Mexican tortillas are the best. The chefs serve the tortillas with a local hot sauce. They taste delicious. I can eat them at any time of day, for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Let's listen one more time.
Track 47, Unit 5 Opener. I have a great job because I travel to different countries. I meet new people and visit new places. But I really love traveling because I taste lots of different types of food. So when I arrive in a new city, I always go to the local restaurants and cafes. At the moment, I'm in Oaxaca. It's one of my favorite places for street food. All the street chefs make the food by hand, and then they cook it on a real fire. So when you walk up the street, you can smell the food from the different cafes. Local Mexican tortillas are the best. The chefs serve the tortillas with a local hot sauce. They taste delicious. I can eat them at any time of day, for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Okay, so why does she say she has a great job? Yeah, she gets to travel to different countries and places and meet new people. Yeah, she gets to meet new people. Why does she really love traveling? She gets to taste the street food. Yeah. So we need an action. She gets to eat, to taste the street food. Yeah. Where does she always go when she arrives in a new city? So where, location? Cafes, cafes and local restaurants. For me too, I would go to cafes and local restaurants. Why is, I'm not sure, Oaxaca one of her favorite places? Why? Because there's always food on the street which is made by hand. So it's handmade food and it's cooked by real fire. Yes. The smell, she loves the smell from the street because of the food. So it's cooked by real fire, not electric oven or gas oven, but there's a real fire. And she says that her favorite dish, her favorite food is the Mexican tortillas, which has the local sauce. So she loves the Mexican tortilla with the local sauce. And she could eat it every day. Mm, yum. So could I. So can I. So imagine this is handmade and you smell it in the street, the bread. Very nice. On fire, on was it charcoal fire? So like this. This is a real barbecue. Yes. So this is a real fire. That's what she said. By a real fire. Okay, good. So complete the sentences with food verbs. So we're looking at actions to do with food. So to cook, to make the food, to eat the food, to make, like to do something, to serve, like if you're in a restaurant, the waiter will serve you the food, to smell, and to taste. So the first one's been done for us. All the street chefs make the food by hand. So it's homemade, made by the hand. It's not from the factory, it's quick and, you can buy it in the supermarket. They do it there with the ingredients. They make it all with their hands. Number 2, Roxana, then then they cook it on a real fire. So they make the food with their hands and then they cook it on a real fire. 3, Odilon. So yes, you can smell the food. 4, Fernando, the chefs serve. That means to give to someone. Like they serve. Yeah. So a local hot sauce. It means that this sauce is made in Mexico. It's the Mexican flavors. It's local. It's their flavors. It's not the same flavors of Brazil, or it's the local. So these Mexican, it's their flavor. It's theirs. They created the sauce, the flavors. 5, Conrado, they what? No. They taste. Yeah, they taste delicious. Like it's a good flavor. It's delicious. They taste delicious. And 6, Joanna. Yeah, and I can eat them at any time of the day for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Lunch or dinner. Good. So we'll come back to the last point. Let's do the next page. So we're talking about famous for food, and we're looking at food vocabulary now. So this is good because there is an image. So number 1, what is number 1? Rice. Number 2? Yeah, in Portuguese. Correcto, that's correct. But in English, yeah, that's in American English. No, it's peppers. But in Australia and in I don't know about another country, but in Australia, it's more common to say capsicum. Red or green capsicum. So it is peppers. The Americans use the word peppers. We say capsicums. So very common in Australia, capsicum. I don't think there's a difference versus pepper. Yeah, exactly the same. 2. So number 2 is peppers, yes, in the USA, but capsicums in Australia. 3. Potato. I think everyone loves potatoes. Potatoes. 4. Chips. Yeah. We don't fried potatoes, that's a nice word. We don't say that, but chips. Okay. French fries. Yeah. It's in Australia, we just say chips. But in America, they say French fries. Yes. Maybe Europe, chips. We just say chips. Hot chips, chips. 5. Pasta. Yes. This is it's not yet cooked, so it's just dried pasta. 6. Chicken. Chicken. 7. Lamb. Lamb's so good. Lamb. Lamb. 8. Fish. 9. I'll give you a clue. It's from the raisins. Yes. So again, raisins, or we have another word. Doesn't matter. You can say the same because in Australia we understand them. Maybe it's more common sultanas in Australia. So raisins. Then we have 10. Juice. Yeah, looks like maybe orange juice. Yeah, juice. 11. Prawns or shrimps. Yep, the same. You can say prawns or shrimps. So I'll just write that so you can see the writing. So it's prawns or shrimp. Same. So North America, maybe they say shrimp, while prawns, we say prawns more in Australia. So same thing, just depends which country. So in Australia, it's more common to say prawns, but the same, prawns or shrimp. And that's this one, 11. 12. Onion. Does anyone not like onion? Because some people, they don't like onion. No? You like? Yeah. 13. Orange. Oranges. Because there's more than one. Yes. 14. Salt. Salt. Yes. 15. This one. Nuts. Where's nuts? This one. Nuts. 16. Eggs. So this is the photo. Eggs. Eggs. This one. Eggs. 17. Lemons. Yeah, make sure you say the S because there's more than one. Lemons. And 18. Lentils. Lentils. Yeah. 19. Cheese. This one here. Cheese. And 20. 20. Pepper. Yeah, we say pepper. Yeah. So some very good vocab of everyday, very common food and drinks, nuts and lentils and fruit, vegetables, cooked food. So very good. A bit of everything. There's chicken, meat, seafood, seasoning. So salt and pepper are called seasoning because you add them to the meal to give flavor. Seasoning. Seasoning. That's this word here. Seasoning. Okay, let's complete the sentences so that they are true for you. So, number 1, Joanna. Yeah. Nice. So Joanna says, I really like nuts, number 15, but I don't like raisins. Really? You don't like raisins? Yeah, when I was young, I didn't like them, but now I like very much raisins. Number 2, Mariana. Okay. So I often eat cheese. Chips. Yeah, I often eat chips, but I don't often eat raisins again. So again, make sure you write what is true for you. This is just some examples. 3, example from Alexandria. Okay, so Alexandria says, I sometimes cook chicken, but I never cook lamb. You don't like lamb? No? Wow. I like. Yeah. Yeah. The smell. Yeah. Okay, number 4, the last one. We'll go back to Roxana. Really? Okay. So Roxana says, I know what chicken tastes like, but I don't know what prawns taste like. Interesting. Okay, so we have these words. Ch, CH makes a ch, chicken. Yep. J, juice. Ch, cheese. And orange. J. So that's a J. GE is a J. Like garage, orange. Let's match these words. So pizza is from which country? I think everybody will say Italy. Yep. So 1A. Roxana, ceviche, Peru. And how do I pronounce that? Ceviche. 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 Ceviche is from Peru. So 2C. Ceviche, Peru. Satay. Indonesia? I think they do have a lot of satay. Indonesia. So 3B. Indonesia. Kabsa. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia. So 4F. Periodgy must be colon, but let's have a look what it is. Oh, so it's like dumpling. Yeah. Polish. So it's Polish, it's like dumpling. Looks very nice. So 5D. And the last one, so 5D and curry. India. Yes, very, very common. Curry. So 6E. Okay, let's listen to another listening exercise. 3 people are going to talk about, describe the dish means food, from their country. What does speaker 1, which food does he talk about? What does speaker 2 talk about? And what does speaker 3 talk about?
Track 49. Unit 5A. 1.
This is kapsa. It's a popular dish in my country and also in other countries like Yemen. You need some chicken, or some people make it with fish. Cook the chicken with an onion, some salt and pepper, and other spices. You can add some tomatoes as well. We eat it with rice. I put some nuts and raisins on the top, and sometimes some eggs. It tastes delicious.
2. Ceviche is popular in Peru, but also in countries like Chile. It's easy to make. It's fish, but you don't cook it. You put some juice from a lemon on the fish, and this cooks it. Sometimes we eat it with onions, and maybe some salad as well. You eat it cold. 3.
Spaghetti bolognese is a famous dish all over the world. But the real bolognese comes from my city of Bologna in Italy. And our city's dish is pasta with bolognese sauce. People put different things in the sauce, and every Italian has their favorite recipe. For example, some people use carrots. I don't use any carrots, but you always need some meat and some onions and tomatoes. You eat it hot, but when we have some left, I eat it cold for lunch the next day.
Okay, so we have the photos on the next page. So the first speaker, which food did he talk about? He talked about the kabsa, yeah? And that's in image B. So B, kabsa. So he said it was a chicken, rice. I can see it looks like there's maybe egg. Number 2, ceviche. And which country, which image? C. No tomato.
This is the food. Great. I think in
Okay.
Mexico.
Yes.
Avocado.
Yes. Yeah. So I like that Roxana, yeah, very traditional one. So I like that Roxana pointed that out. She said this is not the traditional ceviche. Maybe this is from Mexico because Peruvians do not add tomato. So very traditional Peruvian ceviche would look like this. And it's eaten cold. So it's fish, chili. This would be very nice. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Yum. I like to try it, but cold. Yeah, you eat this cold. Mm. Okay, interesting. And the last one, spaghetti bolognese, this image, A. So he was from Italy, spaghetti bolognese. You eat it hot, but he said for lunch, the next day, he eats it cold. And basil, I can see he put the basil. And he said you must put meat and onion, but some people, they put carrot, but he said he does not put carrot. Okay, interesting. So image 1, spaghetti bolognese. That's a meal, a dish. Image B was the kabsa, Saudi Arabia. So I can see chicken, rice, egg, maybe coriander. C was ceviche from Peru. So let's listen again to the same listening, but then you have to see which speaker, 1, 2, and 3, with the food, which one do we know is true? So for 1, 2, and 3, remember the kabsa, the ceviche, and the bolognese, it's popular in other countries. Which one do you make it with meat? Do you make it with fish? You can also add different vegetables. You cook it, you serve it with rice, you serve it with salad, and you eat it hot. So let's see which numbers we can match about the food.
Track 49. Unit 5A. 1.
This is kabsa. It's a popular dish in my country and also in other countries like Yemen. You need some chicken, or some people make it with fish. Cook the chicken with an onion, some salt and pepper, and other spices. You can add some tomatoes as well. We eat it with rice. I put some nuts and raisins on the top, and sometimes some eggs. It tastes delicious.
2. Ceviche is popular in Peru, but also in countries like Chile. It's easy to make. It's fish, but you don't cook it. You put some juice from a lemon on the fish, and this cooks it. Sometimes we eat it with onions, and maybe some salad as well. You eat it cold. 3.
Spaghetti bolognese is a famous dish all over the world, but the real bolognese comes from my city of Bologna in Italy. And our city's dish is pasta with bolognese sauce. People put different things in the sauce, and every Italian has their favorite recipe. For example, some people use carrots. I don't use any carrots, but you always need some meat and some onions and tomatoes. You eat it hot, but when we have some left, I eat it cold for lunch the next day.
Okay, so we had, which one do you make it with meat? The spaghetti. So number 1, the spaghetti bolognese, but also the kabsi, I think. 1 and 3. You make it with fish. We know the ceviche. So number 2. But also number 1, because the capsi, you can also make it with fish. So 1 and 2. You can also add different vegetables. I think for all of them, the bolognese, the capsi, and the ceviche. So 1, 2, and 3. You cook it. There's only 2 options because we know the ceviche we do not cook. So 1, the capsi, and 3, the bolognese. You serve it with rice. 1, the capsi only. You serve it with salad. 2, the ceviche. You eat it hot. Only the capsi and only the bolognese, because ceviche, no. Okay, so let's do number 7, but we're going to write it and add it to Padlet. If you, so we're going to think. You have to think of a popular dish in your country. So try to think of something different. So, Roxana, not the ceviche because it's already here. Colombia, you can choose anything you want because they didn't say anything about any Colombian food. And Brazilian, you can pick anything. So what is the name of the dish? What do you make it with? What can you add to it? So maybe tell us that, some people add this, but some people don't. What do you eat it hot or cold? Or maybe both. You can both. And do you serve it with something? Serve it means, do you add like with the rice or with bread or with maybe olives or something? Do you add something to it? After, when you cook it, you can, if people want, they can add something to it or maybe not add. So I'll give you 5 minutes to write about a popular dish from your country and then upload it to Padlet and we'll read it. Okay, so upload. Okay, so let's check some of the writing. So again, we were writing about popular dishes from your country. So the first one, empanada, is a popular dish in my country. It is, so it should be is. Just edit that. So it is made with potatoes, beef or chicken and cornmeal, full stop. So it is made with potatoes, beef or chicken and cornmeal. You can add sauces or ahi if you want. And because if you want, so you have to add that. And you can eat it. So, and you can eat it hot or cold, but hot is more delicious. Full stop. Eat empanadas with Coca-Cola. Good, I like that. So I'm going to put an exclamation mark and I'm going to add, I recommend you eat empanadas with Coca-Cola. I recommend you eat empanadas, with Coca-Cola. You eat it with a Coca-Cola drink. Perfect, good. I'm guessing Alexandria or, sorry, Mariana, yes. Okay, next one. It's called ahiato. Yeah, ahiato, okay, good. It's a soup with potatoes, such as potato pastusa, potato sabanera, and potato criole. When you say such as, are these the names of the potato? Oh, really? Oh, okay, so different types of potato. Yeah, beautiful. So it's called aioli. It's a soup with potatoes such as, yeah. Also, it contains, so you don't need the second comma here. It contains corn, shredded chicken. You can serve it with, you can serve it and add capers and milk cream. You can serve it and add, yeah, capers and milk cream. Always, it is better to eat it hot. Good. We don't really start with always. We say it is always. So it is always better to eat it hot. Good. Thank you, Joanna. Roxana. Pachamanca. 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 Traditional Peruvian. So it is cooked with hot stones underground. You can, so let me just, it's cooked on, because it's on top of it, on hot stones underground. Full stop. So remember, every sentence must have new information. So you can cook it with chicken, rabbit, beef, pig. Now the last one must say or sheep. Full stop. So again, new sentence. It is seasoned with a mixture of herbs such as basil. I don't know this one. Let's have a look. It's a type of herb. I never hear of this one. Huataca. Yeah. Do you find it here in Adelaide? Yeah, of course. Because I never see before. I never see. Nice. So this is Peruvian herb. Okay, nice. So Roxana says it is seasoned with a mixture of herbs such as basil, huatacay, a lot of garlic and dried chili peppers are also used. You don't need to say are also used, full stop. It is, so new sentence, it is cooked with broad beans and potatoes and sweet potato. A hole is made in the earth, well conditioned, to place the food mixture with the hot stones. They are covered with various herbs. That's amazing, under the ground. Well, in the ground. It is buried, and after a few hours of cooking, it is served. It is delicious. Beautiful. I want to see how in the ground. That's amazing. In the ground. Stone. Oh, that's so nice. So traditional. I love the idea. I love it. Yeah. Beautiful. 3 hours. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can see. I like that. It's a community, like to make it takes 3 hours. So it's really a community. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so 3 hours just cooking. So preparation time is more. So usually the whole community will, is it served at a special occasion like, Christmas or something, or all the time? What's that? Yeah, this is a special day? From the Andes. Andes. Yes. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, thank you. So the name of the dish is feijoada. I should make you guys read this. But I have to learn too. Feijoada. Feijoada. Okay, so we're learning a bit of Portuguese here as well. So the name of the dish is feijoada, Brazil. I make it with black bean, meat, and pork. I can add parsley, cabbage, and onions. I can eat it hot. Do you maybe I prefer to eat it hot? Like I can eat it hot. I think more I prefer to eat it hot. I serve it with rice, maniac flour. What's that? Maniac flour and pepper. I like the emojis. What's this flour? Very interesting ingredients from around the world. Manioc flour, this one? So it's from a fruit. It comes from this one. It's like, looks like potato. Is that right? It's a type of potato.
I don't know.
Cassava flour, yeah. Seasoned cassava flour. Yeah. I think cassava flour. Yeah, okay. Which comes from this this vegetable. Oh, no. Okay. But that's cassava flour. You said cassava. I mean, it's flour, yes. But it's made from this vegetable, no? Like in Mexico, it's common to use corn flour. But in Brazil, you use cassava flour. Yeah, this like this. Ah, okay, yes. I understand. Yeah. Okay. So interesting. So good sentences. Yeah. Um, arepa. Arepa is a snack popular in my country. It is made with corn flavor, butter, cheese, and salt. So you got to make sure the last one is and salt. It is very tasty. So you got to use the adjective here, not the verb. It is very tasty. Some people eat it with a fried egg on top, or chicken or meat inside of the arepa. I can eat them at any time of the day. I can eat them at any time, I can eat them at any time of the day. Beautiful. Okay, good. So thank you for your writings. I've saved that. Solange, if you want to write, it was to write about a popular dish in your country. And so we have here beautiful Peru, Brazil, and Colombia. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so let's continue after the break, where we are going to be looking at some grammar for our nouns. So when we say, you've heard words like some, any, and a lot of people confuse these. So we're going to talk about how do we know when to say some or any. Like I have some potato or I have any potato. So we'll know after how to talk about these. But let's have a break and come back and then we'll do that. Okay, so let's talk about some grammar. As I said earlier, we want to use these words correctly. Some, any, with nouns. So when we think of nouns, we think of an object and we think of things like, for example, a book, and then you've got, that's one book, and then you've got books, many books. So singular, plural, one, many. So that's what we talk about when we say countable and uncountable. So we can count it. If it's plural, it's many, we can count it. Not just one apple, but many apples. Not just one banana or a banana, but some bananas, many bananas. Yeah. So we have, let's look at the examples and then we'll look at some rules. So cook the chicken with an onion. It means only one. So anytime you have a or an, and then you have the noun, be careful because you're talking about just one. So cook the chicken with an onion, only one onion. It didn't say some onions or any onions, because this is for the plural, for many. Just said one, an onion. Now, the reason it is an and not a is because the noun starts with an A, E, I, O, U. So these letters, they're called vowels, and we must put a or an in front of them. So it's an onion, an orange, an elephant, an apple. Yeah. So, and it's only one. We cannot say an onions. No, it's only one. This isn't like saying just one. With an onion. The next sentence, you need some meat. So this is plural, not just one meat, but some. And some onions and tomatoes. So now we can see some is used when we talk about many. Yeah. So we need some meat. We need some, we need some stories. We need some music. It means like many, we need some books. We need some friends. That's what it means, many. The negative, I don't use any carrots. So it looks like any is used in the negative. I don't have any carrots. And it's also with the plural. Take notice that there's a S on the noun. I don't have any books. I don't have any friends. I don't have any time. That's all plural. And it's a negative, and it looks like any is also used in a question. So we talked about how do we make a question? Do or does for he, she, it. So do you have any bread? No. So it's going back to talking about like, do you have any books? Sorry, because bread is it doesn't take an S. You don't say breads. It's like food. You don't put an S. So some nouns do not have an S for the plural. Bread is one of them. So any is still used for the plural. It's like saying, do you have any friends that speak Italian? Do you have any pens that I can borrow? Do you have any any plural? So if we look at the grammar box and we look at the nouns in the bold, so onion, meat, tomatoes, carrot, bread, which nouns in bold can you count? So onion, because we can say an onion, which just means one onion, or 2 onions, 3 onions, 4 onions, 5 onions, and I can keep continuing. So that means I can count it. So onions, yes, I can count it. Can I count tomatoes? 1 tomato, 2 tomatoes, 3 tomatoes, yes. Carrots, yes, because a carrot, or 2 carrots, 3 carrots, 4 carrots, 5 carrots. Bread, do we say a bread? Yes, I have a bread. Do we say 2 breads? No. So bread, we cannot count. We need to add words to it. Like, I need 3 loaves of bread. I need, we say loaves for bread. So the ones that we cannot count is bread only. So we see that at or am is before only countable nouns. So A, 1A. We use some and any with plural, B, plural nouns, and uncountable nouns. And we normally use any with, let's have a look at any negative and questions. So negative sentences and questions, B. So let's go back to what we're talking about. We're talking about nouns. So we know what a noun is. It's not an action. It's not a verb. It's not a preposition, you know, like on, in, by. It's not words. It's not adjectives. It's not adverbs. Remember, we talked about how much and how well. It's a noun. So it's a thing. It's an object, like a table, a person. It could be living or non-living, you know, the cloud, the sky. Anything that you can pretty much touch or not touch is a noun. So the singular, we say a or an, or even the. And we can also have the plural, but we don't say at or an. We can say the. So for example, books. So make sure that there's an S here. We can say the books, many books, a lot of books, several books, any book, some books, a number of books. Or a number is like 5 books. So singular means you're talking about one, plural, many. These I can count because I can say one or a apple, and then I can say many apples, a lot of apples, several apples, any apples, some apples, 10 apples. Now, uncountable are words like love, time, nouns, food, cheese, milk, salt, rice, and sugar. And there's many more. You just have to type, you know, a list of uncountable nouns. Now, we cannot count them. So that means I can't say a love and then 5 loves. No. I can't say a time and then 10 times. I can't say a food and then foods, or cheese and cheeses, 5 cheeses. No. I can't say a milk and then 5 milks. No. And the same with the rest of them. The only way we can talk about more is we must add words. So with the bread, we had a loaf of bread. So for the plural, you could say how many kilos you want, or slices of, or loaf, a loaf of bread. So we can add bread here. So so we could say, for example, for milk, I would like 2 liters of milk. So we can say 2 liters. So that's how you have to use it. You say the number first, and then you add one of these words, and then you say of. So that's how we do it. So we add the number first, however much you want. And then you add the word that goes with it. So for example, kilo is for apples and oranges, things that you weigh. Pieces. Bottles. I want 4 bottles of something. A slice of bread, a slice of cake, a loaf of bread, 5 loaves of bread. Or liters is for liquid, milk, water, orange juice. I want 3 liters of. So then we add of. So you have to follow this rule when you want to talk about uncountable nouns for many. So of, and then you add plus the noun, the uncountable noun. Yeah, so there's no S here. So I'll put an S and then I'll cross it off. There's no S because it's these words, which you don't say sugars, rices, salt, milks. No, there's no S. So that's the rule. Don't forget the word of and then the noun. Simple, right? So all you got to do is just remember when you're talking about one, usually it's at or an, or this is how you say for many, but only if it's countable. It means you can put the S. But if you cannot, it's these words, you just got to remember which words. If we want to talk about the plural, we must use this structure. Yeah.
But I don't understand when I use any or many.
Many, yeah. So many is used in negative and questions.
But they ain't the same.
Yes, used in negative and questions. But you just got to separate it by countable. This is for uncountable. So the words that are uncountable, like milk, it goes with the any. Do you have any milk? But the ones that I can count, apples, there isn't many apples. Let's get some apples. So you see the difference? One is used with the uncountable. And one is not. So many, negative, and questions, and any negative and questions, they're both used in the same way. So there isn't many apples on the table. There isn't many books. There isn't many hot days this week. There isn't many whatever that has the S, you put it here. And then the question, do you have many apples? Do you have many, and many, we know because it's from the plural. And you can use a lot of. Any, same thing. There isn't. For a negative, there aren't any. So you can put the singular or the plural for a negative. And a question, do you have any apples? Do you have any oranges in your fridge? Do you have any? Yeah. So they both can be used with countable and uncountable. And this one, countable. There isn't many books on the table. There isn't many salts. Yeah, this is only countable, but this is the uncountable. But we'll see here. So we've got, if we go to the next section, we'll come to practice it very soon. So choose the correct options to complete the conversation about a dish called curry. We remember that dish is from Indonesia? India, yes. Then listen and check. So A and B. I'll read A and Roxana can read B. So I'd like to make chicken curry this evening. What do you think? Okay, well, we need, which one would I put? Some, we need some chicken. Because any is only in negative or question. This is not a negative. This is an affirmative sentence. I need some chicken. So not any, because it is not a negative or a question. It didn't say, okay, but we don't have any chicken. Let's go get some. It didn't say that. It just said, we need some. So some. Can we see why it is some and not any? Some is, any is only in negative and questions. Okay, can you buy, so it's not a question, can you buy something kilo when you go to the supermarket? Yeah, a kilo, because some, it didn't, we don't say, if we look at the rule here, we only say the number, 2 kilos of chicken, or you can say a kilo of chicken. So you can make it singular by saying a. Okay, so it's a. A kilo when you go to the supermarket. Roxana? And we need, yes, because it's plural. We know the rule. So tomatoes is countable. So we need to say the plural. We need to put one of these words. So, and we need some tomatoes. I don't know how many because I didn't say how many numbers, but just some. It just means more than one. So some means more than one. Okay, so, and we need some tomatoes. It didn't say, and we need a tomato. One. It didn't say that. It said we need some. Like, I don't know how many, like more than one. That's, some means more than one. Then you can ask me how much, how many, and then I can tell you. It just means some means more than one. Okay. And we need some tomatoes. It's a negative. Any, yes. So let's look at our rule. Any is used in negative and questions. So, and we don't have any onions. Some is not used in a negative. It's used in the plural to talk about, you know, I have some onions in the fridge. I need to buy some onions. It's not used in the negative. I don't have, you know, it didn't say that. So it says, and we don't have any onions. Yeah. Yes, because it's a question. So we need to go, do we need any? Because it's a question. Yeah. So do we need any rice? No, I think it's not a question or negative, so some. No, I think that there's some rice in the cupboard. So you can see the difference with any, even it's about the same noun. I don't have any rice. I will buy some rice. Or do we need any rice? I will buy some rice. So some is not used in the question. And then, okay, I'll buy some. Yep, some oil for cooking. Yeah, so we need some chicken, tomatoes, onions, and oil. Anything else? No, any is only in negative and questions, so some. Yep. Does that make now a little bit? Some is not used in negative or questions. Any is. So whenever there's a question, you have to pick any, not some. If it's a negative, I don't have, I don't need, I don't want, I don't like, that's a negative. And then whatever the noun is. Question, can you buy, do you have, sorry, with the do you have any, whatever. Do you have any onions? Do you have any apples? Do you have any fruits? Fruit. Do you have any money? Yes, money. I didn't write that to my list here. Money, that's uncountable. Yeah, I have many friends. Yeah. So affirmative, you can use in both. You can use some, many. We don't use many in affirmative. I want many. I need many. We say a lot of. So we don't say this one. And then, do you have, I have any, and we don't say any in affirmative. I want any. Yeah. Bottles of wine. Yeah. I have many bottles of wine. Yeah, so many, you can only use it if you say, I have many pieces of, only if you put these words, yes. Yeah, so actually I'll take that off because we can, but you must say this after it. So I have many loaves of bread. Oh, just, it's easier to say a lot of. I have a lot of wine. Instead of I have many bottles of wine, I have a lot of wine at my house. So that's why it's a lot easier to go for this one, because then you have to, you know, use all of this word. But any, no, any doesn't work in affirmative. Yeah. Which one? Oil? Yes, it's like 3 liters of oil. Yeah, you have to go for the plural. 3 liters of oil.
What for it? Wind or sun?
Which one? 10, 7? Ah, this one?
Yeah.
So, okay, and I'll buy some oil. Yeah, because meant more than one. Like, because oil is it's by liter. You can't just buy like a drop of oil. Sorry?
Uncountable.
It's yes, because this one was uncountable oil. Yes, so we can add oil here. Yep. So the list keeps growing of uncountable. So we don't put an S. We don't say oils. I need 5 oils. No, we say I need, 5 liters of oil. There's no S to the uncountable. Okay, let's make a sentence. So we're not going to do number 11 exactly because we want to move a little bit because we do have Thursday, we don't have a lesson. So we have to keep moving. Just make a sentence about a short sentence about what you need. Or it could be a negative. I don't like, and then talk about a food object. So remember, this week is about food. So try and make a sentence about food. It could be an affirmative. An affirmative is just any sentence. I like, I love, I need to buy, whatever. Or it could be using many or any. Could be a negative or a question. Try and pick the one that you feel you might struggle with. I'll just give you 1 minute to prepare. Okay, so make a sentence, Solange. So make a sentence using any, some, and many. Any, some, and many about food items. Who has a sentence? So anyone has a sentence that you'd like to? So let's do some sentences using these words: many, any, some. Could be a negative, it could be a question or an affirmative. What do you have, Joanna? There, it sounds like a negative, so I would think again which one you're using with a negative. So it's a negative, so there aren't any, yeah, there aren't any in the fridge, yeah? Can you buy some? Yeah. Actually, I'll continue that. Can you buy some? Why did I use some in the next sentence? So any, because there aren't any eggs. Well, you don't even need to say there aren't any eggs. So the reason why any, because it's a negative. So there aren't any eggs. Can you buy some eggs? Because this is an affirmative. An affirmative, we use some, many, but not any. You have to know the difference between an affirmative sentence, a negative sentence, and a question. There's only three ways that we speak. We speak in those three ways. Every sentence, either it is an affirmative, a question, or a negative. An affirmative is just, I need this, I want this. It's just telling someone something, but it's not a negative or a question. It's just, I enjoy, I like, I want, I need, subject, verb, whatever. Not a negative or a question. A negative is a negative. I don't like, I don't want, I don't need, I don't have, I don't, whatever, don't, or I haven't, or I'm not going, whatever. It's just a negative. So it's got the not, or be careful if it's the future, then I won't go tomorrow to the bank. So it's just a negative. I won't do this action. I'm not going to do this action. And a question is a question. You know, do you want some pens? Can I have a pen? Do you need some books? Are we going to the supermarket tomorrow? That's a question. So yeah, this is a good one. There aren't any eggs. We know why we said any. And can you buy some? Good sentence. Was that Mariana or Joanna? Oh, Joanna's. Yes. Good. Mariana. I don't have many books yet. Try and keep it about food, but that's okay. I don't have many books. Yeah. Okay, good. So you can make it a longer sentences if you want. Yeah, many. Because many is used in the negative and questions, but in the affirmative, we can also say many. Yeah, so I don't have many books at the moment. Whatever. Alexandria.
Some cake for my baby.
I need some cake. So more than one. If you want. I need some cakes for my birthday party. Yeah, you can buy more than one. I need some cakes. Be careful, some is plural, so you have to, yeah, I need some cakes. I would have gone with, let's look, affirmative, true, you can use some, many. Did you want just one? I need a cake for my birthday, or did you want many? Okay, so I need some cakes for my birthday party. Yeah, I need to buy, yeah, some cakes for my birthday party. Yeah, that works. Plural. Make sure that it is plural. We can say some because some is only with plural. We see it here, plural. And cake is accountable. 5 cakes, 2 cakes, 1 cake. Okay, Roxana.
I need some lemons to prepare.
Good. I need some lemons to prepare ceviche. Yeah, good. So she said some because it's plural and it's countable. I can count 5 lemons, 2 lemons. It's not uncountable. Because uncountable, we have a list of them here. Bread. She didn't say any of these words. So yeah, I need some. I need some lemons. Fernando. Any shoes? Yeah, what's the noun? Maybe I didn't hear right. So remember, keep it about food. Make sure you choose your noun about a food. So I don't have any, it has to be a food, your noun. What did you say? I don't have any, like shoes? Yes, comida, yes. Yeah, I don't have any meat. Yeah, because meats, yeah. I don't have any meat. Can you buy some? Yeah, we have the same. Can you buy some? You could just say that. Yeah, I don't have any meat. Can you buy 3 kilos? Can you buy 3 kilos of beef? Minced beef? We say minced beef, or actually, it doesn't matter, whichever beef you want. Minced beef. Can you buy 3 kilos of tenderloin? Whichever one you want. Chicken tenderloin, whatever. Actually, you said tenderloins. Can you buy 3 kilos of porterhouse? That's a type of meat. Porterhouse. Yeah, I don't have any meat. Okay, Conrado.
You,
Sorry?
I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going to buy some oranges. Just one or many? Maybe many, because usually you buy more than one. Yeah, because yes, he wants to make juice. So I can make juice. Yeah, I'm going to buy some oranges so I can make some juice. Yeah, some, more than one juice. Because it's not going to just be 1 cup of juice. It's going to be some juice that we drink. Odilon.
Are there in the orange?
Yeah. Are there, good. This is a question. Are there any oranges at home? Yep. So any, because it is a question. Yeah. Is there any oranges in your house? Because I'm coming to get them, to take some. And Anders? Anders? Yes? Do you have a sentence? You have a sentence? And Solange, do you have a sentence as well? So you can use the word some, many, any. Yeah? Some chicken. Yeah, because more than one. I need to buy some chicken. No, you have to use the words many, some, or any. So I need to buy some chicken. That's a good sentence. Yep. Okay, so we understand when to use some, any, and many now. Yeah, 100%. You know the rules. You just got to remember them. You know them. This is the rules here. The hardest part is knowing what is an uncountable noun. Like maybe in your language, you can say milks, but in English, you cannot make that a plural. You have to say, I need 2 liters of milk. I need 3 grams of cheese. 3 grams of cheese. I need a lot of time. You don't just say, I need time. I need a lot of time. I need a lot of love. I need 5 kilos of bread. I need 200 grams of salt or 2 kilos of salt. I need 3 kilos of rice. I need 1 kilo of sugar. I need some money. We don't say monies, I need some. So affirmative, we can use some. I need, we don't say fruits. I need, 3 kilos of fruit. Okay, and then we know when to use many and any, negative and questions. Okay, good. That was some examples we had here. Let's look at the next page. We have some more grammar. Let's look at when we say much. Just to add another word for you, much. So before I talk about much, let's do some questions here. So where do you like shopping for food? Choose an answer. Do you go to the supermarket? So in Australia, we have Coles, Woolworths, Aldi, Woolworths, yeah, or Woolies. Yeah, you know Woolies. We like to say, only in Australia, we say Woolies. I think maybe somewhere else, but very common. I'm going to Woolies. I'm going to Foodland. I'm going to IGA. Or at the market. At the market is like maybe on Saturdays because they sell them cheaper. So there's markets always, they're different to supermarkets because they're only on the weekends, for example. And you can buy, lots at a cheaper price. Or do you go to lots of different shops? Or you don't like shopping? So where do you go shopping for food? So for me, it's at the supermarket because it's quick and easy. But if I do have time, then I do like to go to the market. Why? Because I can save money and buy more. And also at the market, they are more fresh. They are more locally grown. So you feel it's more fresh. Markets is like, let's see the next market in Adelaide. Food market. Well, yes, the Central Market is one. But the ones that are like, they come just maybe different. There's some in the hills which are really nice. The Adelaide Hills Farmers Market. See, that's on Saturday morning. So there's some of them that are just on Stirling Market. So you see how it's like a market? It looks like this. It's not a shopping center, it's a market. This is another nice market, Stirling. Adelaide Hills Farmers, Mount Barker. This is a market. This is a market. Mount Pleasant Farmers Market. Very different to a shopping center, to a food handoff. So which one for you? Just circle which one's your answer. Read the article. Okay, let's read an article about markets around the world and answer these questions. So I'll read so that you can then copy how I say it. So top 5 food markets, that's the title. So we have a subheading, and then I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me open this like this. Okay, that's better. So let's read. Food markets are great places to find interesting local food. Here are our top 5 markets from around the world. St. Lawrence, Toronto, Canada. Now, the reason I stopped for some time was because there's commas, so we need to say it like that. So St. Lawrence Food Market in Toronto is 200 years old. There are a lot of shops with every kind of meat and seafood. Castries Market, St. Lucia. Naturally, this island in the Caribbean has a market famous for fish and fruit. Try the local sauce. It's very hot and spicy. Creta Ayer Wet Market. Singapore, we all struggle to say that. Singapore. Okay, there's a lot of different food here. Oh, here. And there's also a great restaurant upstairs. Go at around 6 a.m. and have some tasty noodles for breakfast. La Vucceria, Palermo, Italy. Yeah, I hope we are saying this right. How to not learn to speak Italian. There aren't many markets in the world with live music. But in Palermo, musicians play and sing as shoppers buy their sausages and fresh pasta. Borough Market, London, England. Borough Market, I'm probably saying that wrong, is 1,000 years old and famous with food lovers. It's open every day, but try to go early. It's very popular. So there isn't much food left by the end of the day. Good, let's do some questions together. So, how old is St. Lawrence Market? How old? 200 years old? Yeah. So 200 years old. What food can you buy in St. Lawrence Market? Meat and seafood. What is hot in Castries Market? The local sauce, yes. Local sauce. What is upstairs at Creta Air Wet Market? Yeah. Great restaurant. for noodles, for breakfast. That's good. So restaurant. What can you hear in La Vucheria? Yeah, live music. Yep. So live music means that there's a person that's playing the guitar or an instrument. So it's live. You can watch that person play some music as you shop. What days in Borough Market open? What days is? Every day. Yep. Every single day. You can write, Sunday to Monday. Sunday to Saturday. Yeah, every day. Do you have food markets in your town or city, and when is it open? So I'll talk about, because let's get into the grammar. I'll talk about in Adelaide. Yes, we do have markets. I just showed you some of them. They're open sometimes, mostly in the hills. You can go up into the hills and you'll see some beautiful markets that open maybe one time in a month. One of them is Sterling Markets, one of my favorites. The next day, when is the next day? So it's June, because every month only one day, I think 1 or 2 days. But let me tell you the next date. So this is only 30 minutes from the city. So 25 June, that's next Sunday. Next Sunday. So if you want to go to the markets in Adelaide, Australia, 25 June 2023, Sterling Market. Many things, not just food, but handmade stuff, and you can see live band, like a live music. Actually, there's a photo, I think, here. See, live music. It's just very, very busy because it's only one time in the month. So very good. You can buy lots of things very cheap. So that's a nice market, Sterling Market. Okay. Can you buy fresh food? Yes. And local dishes there? Yes. So local dishes means that the people make the food there, just like we had in Mexico on the first page with the lady making the tortilla. So yes, you can buy local food, fresh food. What? Huh? Yeah, the video? Yeah, what Indian food? What do you mean the Indian food? Yeah, Indian food? Say it again. No, repeat, tell me. Yes. Ah, okay, yes, especially when you see them on the street. Ah, okay, I never see, no. So let's have a look at street markets in India. I never see, like, wow, how many people? Wow. Yeah, they must sell a lot of different stuff. Yeah. Did you go to this market? Yeah. I can imagine yeah. This is in India, street market in India. Yeah. Okay. What other street markets are in your town or city, and what do they sell? Well, the Adelaide Central Market, they sell everything, right? From fruit to vegetables to chocolates to fresh meat to cheese, everything, right? Any meat that you want, cakes. I mean, everything. The Adelaide Central Market, and that's here in the city. Adelaide Central Markets. Amazing place. And from all different types of, like you can buy Italian, there's Chinese, there's a little French bakery. I think there's a Latin place, which is really nice. We might do the next If only they open it late, we could do maybe a Friday night. If they open late, we could do an excursion here. Let me see Friday. But Friday's our test. But I'll think about that. We could do an excursion here. We could do Friday. Yeah, we might do that next time. Okay, so let's talk about some grammar. A lot, much, and many. So let's read these first. There's a lot of different food. So it's an affirmative sentence. It's not a question and it's not a negative. So that's an affirmative. There's a lot of. So we need to use those words together. A lot of, and then say the noun. There's a lot of apples on the table. There's a lot of books over there. So there is, remember this is a contraction, there is a lot of. When it's, that's for, if you notice, food is uncountable. We can't say 2 foods, 3 foods. So we use a lot of when we talk about uncountable. So there is a lot of. Let's look at the next sentence. So that's a lot of. Next sentence, there are. So now we're talking plural. So this was for singular. Sorry, this was for uncountable. And you say there is a lot of. But we also have there are a lot of. So there are a lot of shops here. It's another word for many. There are many shops here. So a lot of can also be used with the countable. And there is, I can also say there are. For many, there are a lot of. Yeah. Next sentence, there aren't, so this is a negative, there aren't many markets. So if I want to make a negative, I say many. Let's have a look. We have this before, many. Yep, there isn't. But we can also say there aren't many. So there aren't many markets. That's a negative. There isn't much food. So negative, I say much. Much used in negative. There isn't much food. For uncountable. Do you eat a lot of apples? So for questions, do you eat a lot of or many? Let's go back to many. Yep. Do you eat many? No, not a lot, not many. So to answer, you can say That's a no, or say yes, remember? If it's no, not a lot or not many. Do you eat a lot of cheese or much cheese? So a lot of is used when we say with a question. So it's used in, so a lot of is used in questions. There are a lot of in affirmative and negative. There aren't, there isn't. Do you eat a lot of? Do you eat a lot of? No. So yeah, only in affirmative and questions. Because we can't say affirmative, question, negative. There isn't a lot of, oops. You can use it in negatives. There aren't. Okay. Once we practice it, it will get easier. So let's complete. We just need to write down the rules first. So we complete the rules with a lot of, much, and many. So number one, Roxana, we use which one? We use which one with countable or uncountable nouns? Okay, so let's see. Let's go back to a lot of first. Do we use it with uncountable nouns? Yes. So we can write a lot of here. Do we use many with many with both? Let's see many. What does our rule say? Many with countable, not uncountable. We don't have many salt. No, we do not use many with both. Many is only with countable. Yes. Much. Where's our rules for much? Much. See you tomorrow. Much is with uncountable and countable. Much. Much for countable. I have much apples. No. So only a lot of is used with countable and uncountable. Only a lot of. Much, we only use much with uncountable. And many with countable. There are many apples. We don't say there are much apples. So many is only countable. So you can write this on a side. Many is with countable. So many is with countable only, and much is with uncountable only. Because I don't have much rice. Can you buy some? But a lot of can be used with both countable and uncountable. Easy?
No,
No?
no,
No. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Martin. And see you tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, number 2. We use what with countable nouns? Well, we just said countable much. Sorry, any, many. Many. I have many friends. I have many pens. Do you want one? So many only with countable. Much only with uncountable, and a lot of with both. See, easy. Yeah. But the only hard part is to remember which nouns can be uncountable or countable. That's the only hard part. But this is the rules right here. So a lot is with both. Many with countable, much uncountable. Okay, we use what with uncountable? Much. We use much with uncountable. We use with questions and negatives. A lot of with questions and negatives. Yep. So we can write a lot of. Much. Negative and questions. Yes, and much. Now many. Let's see many. Many. Negative and questions as well. They all work in negative. Yeah, there isn't many apples. Do you have many apples? Many is with both, and a lot of is with questions and negatives. Yeah, because a question, do you eat a lot of apples? So it's all three. I don't know why they only 2 options, but all 3. Okay, let's rewrite some sentences. Maybe this will help. Rewriting some sentences. So the next page. See you, Solange. I don't eat a lot of fast food. So a lot of is used in negative. I don't eat a lot of fast food. It's an affirmative. Sorry, it's a negative. Number 2, he eats. So what can we place a lot of? He eats a lot of fruit, fresh fruit and vegetables. That's an affirmative. He eats, can I say, well, let's look at the fruit and vegetables. One is uncountable and vegetables is countable. So he eats many fresh fruit and vegetables. He eats much. Many. So I would put many in number 2. Actually, no, that doesn't work. You have to leave it as it is because it says where possible. It's more better to just leave that sentence. The reason is because it has both a countable and an uncountable. So can you see how fresh fruit is uncountable and then vegetables is countable? We know a lot of works for both. So we need to keep the sentence a lot of. So it's like saying he eats a lot of apples and rice, because rice is uncountable and apples is countable. So I need to say a lot of, because only a lot of works for both countable and uncountable. So number 2, I'm not going to change it. Number 3, Joanna, what can I replace a lot of here? There aren't a lot of local markets in my region. Markets is countable. So which one? Yeah, many, because we know many works with countable nouns only and much with uncountable. So markets, it's got the S. That tells you it's a countable noun, because 1 market, 2 market, 3 markets, 4 market, that's countable. I can count the number of markets. But rice, I can't say 5 rice, 6 rice, 7 rice. No, that's uncountable. I have to say a kilo of rice, 3 kilos of rice. Okay, number 4, Mariana, do you buy a lot of milk? Sorry, do you buy a lot of sweets for the children? Sweets is countable. Yeah, because we can see the S. So which one? Many or much? Sweets is countable. So many. 5, Conrado. There isn't, this is a negative, a lot of milk in the fridge. What can I place a lot of? Milk is uncountable. See you tomorrow. It's milk is uncountable. Yeah, much. Good. There isn't much milk in the fridge. Can you buy some? Good. 6, Roxana. My family buys a lot of food from the supermarkets. So we need to place a lot of. Food is uncountable. We can tell because there's no S. So much. My family buys much food. I might leave this one. It sounds strange to say much. My family buys much food. No, I would leave it. My family buys a lot of food. Much is also only for negative and questions only. So because this is an affirmative, we can't put a lot of, we can't put much, because only a lot of works in all 3, affirmative, negative, questions, countable, uncountable. Pardon? Not what, sorry? No, because food is uncountable, but because it's an affirmative, not a negative or a question. Much is only negative or questions. Yeah, you have to keep it a lot of. Yeah. So that's much. And this is many. Okay. So number 6, I'm not going to change it. 7, she doesn't put a lot of salt on her food. Joanna. Yes, because much is for uncountable. We know salt is uncountable and it's a negative. So yes, she doesn't put much salt on her food. 8. Conrado. So it's a question. Do you eat a lot of strawberries in the summer? Now, strawberries, that's the noun. Is it plural or singular?
Good.
Yes. And it's countable. Yeah. So which one? Many? Yeah. Because it's countable. Many. Yep. Do you eat many strawberries in the summer? Yes. We can say that. Do you eat many or do you eat a lot of? You can use both. Because remember, a lot of works for all three, for everything. Affirmative, negative, questions, countable, uncountable. But many, only countable, much, only uncountable, but only negative and question. So give me a sentence. Roxana, I eat a lot of. I eat a lot of bread. Yep, perfect. So I'll write your sentences here. Yep, I eat Yep, I eat a lot of bread. Yep. We know because it's an affirmative. This is not a negative. It is not a question. It's an affirmative and it is uncountable. So affirmative, uncountable. Yep. We know we can use that. I don't eat much, Conrado. What don't you eat much? So we're talking about food. Remember, much is only uncountable. Yeah, good. I don't eat much rice. Yeah, good. Because rice is uncountable. Good. Joanna, I don't eat many. Now, many is for countable. I don't eat many. Many tomatoes. Yeah, I don't eat many tomatoes. Yep. Okay, let's do a listening exercise. I just realized. Okay, let's leave that till next lesson because we've just finished. So next lesson, we're going to continue. We're going to listen to an exercise about a shopper. So someone who's going shopping at the markets, one of the markets from the article that we read. So we will continue that tomorrow. Again, let's talk about what we did this lesson. We talked about food. So we talked about vocabulary for food and how to make sure we're talking about one apple or many. And also we used words like many, much, a lot of, some. So there's lots of rules that we just looked at. But we will continue and keep practicing next lesson. So see you then.